What's up, everyone? We're going to do a quick news video update, and we're a little late on this. It's some major news that dropped this past Friday, and of course, we were in the theater seeing Dune for the first time. It was like right when the lights went out, we started to get a bunch of buzzes on our phone in our pockets, and we were like, that can wait. And then we get out of the theater.
Can't be anything important.
Yeah, 3 hours later, and we find out that Anakin is going to be in the Ahsoka series. Very exciting news. This is from the Hollywood Reporter. They said, Hayden Christensen is staying in the fold of the Galactic Empire. The actor will reprise the role of Anakin Skywalker, aka Darth Vader, in Ahsoka, the latest Star Wars live-action series from Lucasfilm and Disney+. Rosario Dawson is starring as the fan-favorite character Ahsoka Tano, a Jedi Knight survivor popular on the animation side of Star Wars, who made her live-action debut in the second season of The Mandalorian. Plot details are being kept in the far reaches of the Outer Rim, but it is known that longtime Star Wars lightsaber wielder Dave Filoni is writing the series and exec producing with Jon Favreau. It's unclear how Skywalker, or for that matter Vader, will figure into Ahsoka, which, like The Mandalorian, is set 5 years after the events of Return of the Jedi, and therefore after Vader's death. I'm just noticing, like, every time news comes out, people would try to do all these, like, little cheeky Star Wars puns, like, the details are being kept in the Outer Rim, and longtime lightsaber wielder Dave Filoni. It's, okay, calm down, Hollywood Reporter. We all get it. You've seen Star Wars, too.
I mean, they got to break this kind of big deal story.
Yeah, so have some fun with it. Why not?
Sure.
But yeah, I am excited by this, obviously. What I think my favorite part about seeing the news like this is just everyone's complete and utter joy and enthusiasm for Hayden Christensen coming back. It's kind of like seeing people give Ahmed Best a standing ovation at Star Wars Celebration, and just how these actors went through so much during the prequels, and, you know, the way the Star Wars fandom treated the prequels at that time, but to now come back when all of the people who grew up with the prequels are just here to celebrate that and welcome them back in. It's really good to see.
Yeah, I mean, we all knew that Ewan McGregor was really excited to come back and play Obi-Wan again, and I think Hayden is probably pretty excited too, because everyone is ready for this to happen. Everyone's like, please, 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 please. Put him in literally anything and we will watch it.
Yeah, this does feel a little bit more muted in response, just because we already knew Hayden was going to come back as Vader. We knew he was going to be in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, but I love that we're probably now going to get not just his Vader, but his Anakin.
Yeah, maybe like a Clone Wars flashback.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what do you think we're going to see here? Are you expecting flashback, Force Ghost, or both?
I hope both. I mean, I'm for Obi-Wan, I'm expecting flashback. For Ahsoka, I'm hoping that he's a Force Ghost and we get some dialogue between the two of them, and maybe he talks to her pretty often. maybe you know, they have like a weekly catch-up chit-chat.
That's another question I'll come back to that. Just how often do you think he'll appear in this series? Will it be major or minor? But for both Obi-Wan Kenobi and Ahsoka, I'm thinking it's more going to be in present day. So for Obi-Wan, it's mostly going to be Hayden in the Vader suit. And yeah, he'll probably have the helmet off, because if you're going to cast Hayden, show his face, or else you could get anyone to be in the Vader suit. For Ahsoka, I think Force Ghost makes the most sense. It's like, I do want to see Clone Wars flashbacks, because I would really love to see them all in their, like, Clone Wars armor in live action. That would just be awesome to see. But I'm also like, we have gotten so much Clone Wars content that they have to find a good reason to flashback. They have to show us something new. And I don't know. I don't know what else there is to explore. I'm sure there's something.
There's
but
definitely more.
Off the top of my head, I'm like, I don't know. But they could also just do like a quick montage of visions, like maybe Ahsoka is looking back through her memories and we see like some iconic Clone Wars moments, but reimagined in live action. That could be cool.
Yeah. I we'll be interested to see how big of a role this is going to be, because honestly, my first reaction to hearing this news, I was like, oh, this would have been a nice surprise.
Yeah.
But knowing how things work with leaks and, you know, just information like that gets out. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if this was something they were like, okay, this is probably going to get leaked at some point because it's a big deal. So maybe we go ahead and put it out there. But I don't know. I kind of wish this had been a surprise cameo.
Yeah. But again, it's like because he's already in Obi-Wan Kenobi, it feels like, yeah, that makes sense. That's natural. So I don't know if it would have been as big of a surprise, but I don't know. They could have saved one of them as a surprise.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting him to be a huge part of the series. I'm going to bet he'll show up in one episode and play a significant role in it and give Ahsoka hopefully some guidance. Mm-hmm. Because in The Mandalorian, she is afraid to train Grogu. She has some hang-ups from her experiences with Anakin and seeing him fall. So I think he can come back and offer some guidance and help bring her around. Maybe this is part of her transformation from Ahsoka the Grey to Ahsoka the White. Mm-hmm. Because there is a reason she wasn't in the white robes in The Mandalorian. Like, concept art showed her in the white robes with the staff, and they went, no, let's not do that yet. But why? So maybe that could be kind of her coming into her own.
In Dave we trust.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. I fully am on board with this. Like, and it's just so cool to see the prequels and the I guess this era. I don't know what to call this Mandalorian era, the 5 years after Return of the Jedi, but it's just cool to see post Return of the Jedi content like really being connected with prequel and Clone Wars era content.
Yeah. And like, I don't want to sound greedy, but I wonder if this means he'll bring up any other familiar characters, or I don't think we're going to see Luke in this show, but it'd be interesting if Anakin brought him up.
That was going to be my next question to you is this going to open a can of worms a bit to where like, okay, well, if we're going to see Ahsoka talk with Anakin, are we also going to see Luke?
I don't think so. I don't think we'll see Luke.
Or I mean, at some point, not necessarily in the series.
Okay.
At some point, will we see Anakin and Luke having a conversation?
I hope so.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
I assume we will. I just don't know if it's going to happen in live action.
I'm going to assume that it definitely happened if he is talking to Ahsoka. But again, we'll have to see how it plays out, because Force Ghosts are like kind of, you know, wishy-washy on when they appear.
Yeah.
So, but I do think that if he's willing to pull himself out of being one with the Force to speak with Ahsoka, that he would probably do it with Luke as well.
Yeah. I kind of feel like this is going to be a Luke and Yoda moment from The Last Jedi. Like, maybe he'll pop up when she's having to go through like a really tough decision or life moment or something like that. And I don't know, maybe she hasn't heard from him until this moment. That would be pretty big.
I think that should be how it is. I don't think he should appear and she'll be like, oh, hello again. Like, good to see you for our weekly call. Like you.
Yeah, but it would be cool if we did have that Luke Yoda moment where he kind of like shows up in the corner of the screen and she's like, hey, Sky Guy.
Mm. I mean, I want that moment of her looking off somewhere and you just hear, hey, Snips. Like, I want that to be the introduction and her realizing that he is here. Just gave me chills. But yeah, I do think that this is going to make it's the whole give a mouse a cookie thing. If you give a Star Wars fan one thing, they're going to want the next. Like,
sure.
Dave Filoni even made that joke about when he revealed Thrawn in Star Wars Rebels. Immediately someone at Celebration is like, what about Mara Jade? And he's like, I just gave you this. Like, relax.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's the way we are. We're like, ooh, well, what? Before we even get this one thing, what else is going to come? What else are we going to get?
Do you think that this is going to happen towards the beginning of the show or towards the end? or in the middle?
I was going to say the middle. Because if I'm right in this complete speculation of him showing up to provide some guidance, I guess middle to late in the series, where she's kind of going through her darkest moments of these episodes, her greatest struggle, and she needs a little bit of help.
Yeah. I hope it's not like a last episode kind of deal, because like we got Luke in the last episode of Mando season 2, and they kept that pretty under wraps, and it was like a big surprise. So I don't know, I'm kind of expecting this to be towards the earlier side of the season.
Well, I think that is a good point, to be that this has come out now, so that probably means it's not like the big thing in the series. So, like, now I hope the big thing isn't Luke showing up at the end, where it's like, okay, is that what we're going to do?
I don't think they would do that again
for every series? And young Luke is going to show up at the end of Obi-Wan Kenobi too. It's like, that's Luke's our last episode cameo every time. I don't think they're going to do that again either.
Nah. But this also makes me wonder, will he show up in the trailer whenever we get a trailer?
I hope not.
Yeah.
I'm fine to know what's happening, but
it's like we already know he's going to be there. I want it to be a surprise of like how and when and why.
Right. I don't want to be able to pick apart the trailer and be like, okay, here's the scene where it happens, and like, I recognize this planet or whatever, and now I know Anakin's coming. I want it to be a surprise as much as it can be.
Yeah.
But yeah, Anakin's coming back again. And it's exciting. It's
kind of like, if he's got to be there for one show, you might as well get him to do cameos in all the other shows that they're kind of working on.
Yeah. And I mean, they can really explore some, not only relationship stuff between Anakin and Ahsoka, but they can talk a bit about how Force ghosts work. They can maybe talk about how he became one, because people have had that question for a long time, and we kind of have an answer, but they could definitively say it. Or they could talk about why Force ghosts don't pop up all the time to help out. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things they could explain if they so choose. That's not why they're doing this, but, you know, that might be a little bit of like the cherry on top.
It would be cool for him to say, like, you know, once you're a Force ghost, maybe he would make it sound a little bit better than just being like, hey, I'm a Force ghost. But if he explained that, like, yeah, we can connect with the Jedi, like, from now on, basically, because then that could explain how Rey hears all the voices of the Jedi that we hear in Episode 9.
Yeah. There's a lot of little things they could answer if they go that route, but I'm sure the focus is going to be more Anakin and Ahsoka and their relationship. Yep. Which is like one of the reasons I really wanted to talk about this is obviously we were going to anyway, but the art we've been using in this video and for the thumbnail was made by our friend Brian Ward, and I was just like, I saw that image on his Twitter and asked him if we could use it, but also it just got me so hyped to see the two of them on screen together, even if it is a Photoshop. Mm-hmm. It was really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah. Thank you all for hanging out and watching this. Let us know what you think about this news down in the comments. What are you most excited for? If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel.
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
And consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.